Get
Jai Hind, everyone. We'll be discussing today a very important topic. In fact, there are some decisions at government end which may change a lot of aspects in future, long-term implications we call it. So one of that we can in recent past see GST reforms, demonetization, Article 370, but particularly in economics, that GST and demonetization. But at par, we have recent endeavor from government to go for digital currency, e-rupee, and though it sounds like it has come now, but from the government side, 2017 onwards, efforts were on digital currency. It is believed that it will overcome our biggest enemy, that is corruption, money laundering. In that thought process, probably this is one more step as a pilot project as of now, whether it is wholesale e-rupee or retail e-rupee. Wholesale is bank to bank settlements, and retail is from the person to merchant, or something like what in general sense we say wholesale and retail. But then this is a pilot project, and our today's discussion will revolve around what heading we had given: Indian digital rupee. Is it going to prove a landmark financial initiative? Future will tell whether this initiative has actually benefited us or it has gone in wrong direction. But as of now, we will take it as a discussion point. Some of the topics, I think you all volunteered. We will see who all are there, and accordingly we will sequence it out. If I will recall, Tejas is there.
yes.
Yes, Tejas is there. Introduction: what is digital rupee? Second is Omkar is there? Not yet. Okay. So Omkar had taken difference between digital rupee and cryptocurrency. If he is not there, it will be skipped. Third is Lakhan. Lakhan is there. Okay. Why promotion of digital currency in India needed?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Gayatri is there. Merits of cashless economy. Then
Yes, sir.
Sanjeevni. Sanjeevni is there. Demerits of cashless economy. We have then Subodh will talk about comparative statistics, India versus other countries in the field of digital currency. Maybe a comparison we would like to hear from Subodh. Then Mukesh Saab is there. Yes, he's there. Cyber related challenges. And then future of digital currency. Suraj had volunteered. Even I think Abhaya wants to speak on this. We will see. Without wasting much time, I will comment on few points as and when you all cover those things. Without now delaying, we will ask Tejas to introduce. I think we will keep time so that at 3 minutes it will be reminded 3 minutes over, and 5 minutes should be cut off because we should not then go beyond a time limit. I hope everyone agrees.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so we will start with Tejas. I will request who will keep time. Abhaya.
Okay, sir.
Abhaya, keep time. Just a change from a routine lecturate. This is different. Here we are asking you to put across your opinion, particularly on a topic where the larger subject is digital currency or e-rupee, and which is a new thing which will change our lives. Mark my words. It will change our lives, and this is a pilot project. 1st November onwards wholesale, and immediately it will even retail, and 5 banks are selected. In second phase another lot of banks will come, and slowly it will roll down to our day to day functioning. Let's see. uh, I believe every one of you must be prepared to speak, and we'll start with Tejas. Abhaya, keep time. Abhay, you can prompt. Tejas can start then. Tejas ready? Tejas, Abhaya, not able to hear anyone. Others can just acknowledge I'm audible. I think there is some issue. I'll just reconnect. Just hold on.
rupee note, 20 rupee note, and others as such. So the question arises as to how it will be used. So basically, as I mentioned previously, that these will be issued by RBI, and they will be stored in particular wallets or apps in the user's phone, and they can be drawn up as and when the user require and as and when the user needs, and they are basically transferred from wallet to wallet, and there are no banks involved in this particular transfer, and in this transfer there are two factions. Basically, people to people transfer can be made, as well as people to merchant transfer can also be made. And as I mentioned, that there are no banks available in the equation, so there is no data with the banks as well. So to some extent, it can be considered as anonymous, and this was said by RBI Governor Mr. Das. And basically, this will be available in offline mode as well as time goes on. The RBI is working on enhancing the functionality of CBDC. Basically, some amount of money can be drawn up and can be stored in the phones, and without internet, this can be transferred to other person's wallet directly. And for direct wallet to wallet transfer, internet would be required, and there is no interest incurred on the money which is stored in the wallet. For example, if you store a particular sum of money in a bank, you get some interest, but unlike that, if the money is stored in a particular wallet, you won't be getting any interest on that. And some of the advantages of shifting to this CBDC would be that there's talk going off that in the future RBI may introduce MDR, which is a merchant discount rate. That is the cost incurred by the user on using UPI, unified payment interfaces. And as of now, this cost is bared by the banks, and this increases the financial liability of the banking sector. And if MDR is introduced, we may have to pay certain sum to use UPI. So if MDR is introduced, then people may shift towards the CBDC, which is free of cost. Another is
Last 30 seconds.
another advantage is it is available in the offline mode. So that was the basic introduction to CBDC or e-rupee. Thank you.
Okay. I'm audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. There was some error at my end. I missed little bit of Tejas introduction, maybe couple of seconds. But good, we just had an introduction. CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, which is the extension of RBI's one of the arms, you can say, and from there the digital currency will be operating offline and online. They are trying both. Some of the functions you can do offline also, whether you have internet, you have smartphone or not, it is connected to internet or not. So these are all things which are on trial basis. Secondly, no interest will be a big issue actually, because Indian mindset. Let's come to now Indian culture. We want some benefits, and this is a critical benefit people will demand. Today, if there is some money lying in bank account, in a savings account, you get some interest, whether it is 100 rupees or 1000 rupees or couple of lakhs rupees. you're happy that you are getting some interest. In wallet, if it is not generating any interest, you are likely to get affected. So this is a critical area where probably government has to think, and in times to come it will, because today it is a pilot project from the government perspective, seeing that so much of money is in circulation, saving the hard cash related cost, printing cost, handling cost, and then tracking that money. We will see in another speakers. I think it will come in those lines where exactly it will give benefits to country. It will give some benefits to individuals. It will create some threats also, and it will have definitely pros and cons. Anything for that matter, when it comes in our life, has got implications both way. It will bring some advantages and it will have some problems also. We will see. Next speaker will be, just let me see our list. Yes, Omkar is there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Difference
am.
between digital rupee and cryptocurrency. I'll request Tejas to keep time. Abhaya, how
Yes,
much
sir.
time you gave to Tejas? I think it was little less time. You prompted little early.
No, sir.
Okay, 5 minutes
It's,
you allowed him.
sir, it's 3 minutes actually.
Ah, see, this is a different now. Today's discussion is a little more elaborate thing. So 5 minutes we will allow on upper side, 3 to 5 minutes. So the timekeeper has to prompt at 3 minutes. Okay,
Yes.
3 minutes over or last 2 minutes, and then at 5 minutes one can say um, time is over. So one can sum up them. Okay, we'll now invite Omkar. They just keep time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Omkar, you can begin.
Okay, thank you. So today's my lecture. Today's my topic is difference between digital rupee and cryptocurrency. For the better understanding of the topic, I will divide it into the two parts: cryptocurrency and digital rupee. So first of all, I will explain what is the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a virtual and digital currency. Works on a blockchain technology. It's designed to work as a medium of exchange goods and service to make a payment on a international level. It's introduced in 2013 by the Satoshi Nakamoto. Cryptocurrency is decentralized and free from the third party interference. It's having no limit of for transaction and the applied charges for the transaction is very minimum. So basically, then how blockchain works? It's a set of blocks that record information of transactions, who made the transaction to whom, that is managed by the digital ladder in that blockchain, which is distributed across the network. The miners store the data in their network and access this on this way the blockchain technology works. And the cryptocurrency based on the cryptography, which makes the encryption and decryption of the transaction made by each of the members. But the data is on the network, which is accessible by anyone. So there is not any authority who take care of our data or our money. So it's untrustable. But at another side, the digital rupee in India launches central bank digital currency or digital rupee, which give trust of RBI as well as government of India will support that currency. It's very similar to fiat currency, but only in a digital format. Any bank account holder can make the transaction through the direct in the mediator of RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. The example basically, we do payment through the Google Pay, Phone Pay, or Paytm, but the money is handled by one bank, and after in the cycle of in the cycle of one day or week, it is make the payment to one bank to another bank. But this is very lengthy process, and the means there is a extra amount of taxes are deducted by the bank of user. but after the CBDC, the extra charges are uh, not get cut by the banks because the whole transaction done by the RBI. So basically, first wholesale
Minutes, Omkar.
CBDS launches on 31st October 2022, which is still ongoing. Well, the second CBDC on the 1st December to be currently under test, that is retail CBDC. So another line on a note is, the line is written on the note is, I promise to pay the borrower the sum of rupees 100, 500, 20,000 rupees by the Governor of India. That trust develop, it's also used for the international business. So basically, it will be boost the digital economy. The image will be more clear after few days. So in one line, I have to complete my topic. The cryptocurrency is decentralized and the digital rupee is centralized. Thank you.
Okay, Omkar, I think well covered, and in a few words, you have covered it. Trust factor is a major difference, what Omkar has highlighted between cryptocurrency and the digital rupee. Digital rupee is launched by the government, CBDC. So, central bank digital currency, it is an acknowledged version of your money. Whereas cryptocurrency, Indian government has not supported. In fact, it was apprehensive and was worried about its spread, the enormous volume it was generating, the transactions, and people getting trapped into it. And that was worrisome because it has got its own implications. It may create scandals, and a lot of people whose hard earned money can get lost in the uh, bargain. This is this is not to replace actually the existing hard currency. It is to supplement. This is government stand as of now. This is to supplement ongoing hard cash circulation. So there is one basic thing we need to understand. Indian economy is robust. There is a very interesting factor about Indian economy. Because of our culture and mindset, we have a parallel economy actually, which is not recorded. So I will cover that point, how it is blessing in disguise, dual edged thing when we have a parallel economy, especially in the lower and middle sector, which is not accounted. And a lot of things do happen on ground. And another thing is our apprehensions about government's aim. There are some fears that why this thing is brought, what will be the government's objective, whether it is to replace entirely the hard cash. So let's understand one very layman's point. Cryptocurrency government was telling people that they are not supporting officially. This currency government has launched. Is there any threat? No, because government is legalizing it, initiating it, supporting it, promoting it. And if there is 100 rupees in circulation, when 10 rupees e-rupee is launched, so in circulation 90 rupees will be there. 10 rupees hard cash will be withdrawn, and slowly another 10 rupees in terms of digital will be in market. So next 10 rupees hard cash will be withdrawn. So maybe in years to come, we will have 50% digital, 50% hard. Then maybe 60-40. Then maybe 70-30. Let's see how it goes. But trust factor is the major difference between crypto and this, because crypto has come as a blockchain technology, what Omkar was highlighting. It's a gray market kind of thing, or something which people are not aware. Like there are many schemes, in a layman's term, lottery or some kind of schemes which comes, and government says it is up to your risk. But this is not the case here. If you are having digital currency in your wallet, it is legal, you can use it, you can purchase something, and it will be an acknowledged money which you can use. And if there is any problem, government can hold your hand. That is suffice to say. And what was the last line, Omkar? You said?
Yes, sir. The cryptocurrency is decentralized and the digital rupee is centralized.
Can you elaborate what exactly you mean to say?
Sir, exactly I have to means the in the India, the Indian government is support the digital rupee, but the in the term of cryptocurrency, the means there is no any means central community to manage the things to
Yes.
transferring the money. Yes, sir.
There will be a proper control, proper regulation, monitoring, because this is RBI's CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. So there is someone who is holding accountable from the government side, and that is why centralized, what Omkar has just said, and decentralized individual to individual. If you want to go for crypto and whatnot, a lot of things technology based, if comes in market, it is up to you. Like today, you are now getting very used to for Paytm, Google Pay, Phone Pay, and this is in line with use of technology. In times to come, probably we will be carrying lakhs of rupees in our pocket. No need to carry suitcase or some bag, and some transactions can be on a click of button. So this is that just beginning we can witness today. Okay, we'll come to third speaker today. Uh, Third is why promotion of digital currency in India needed. Lakhan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are audible. You can go ahead. Omkar, keep time. Just at three
Yes, sir.
minutes, you can remind last 2 minutes, and so that he gets idea that halfway mark is there. And at 5 minutes, you can sound. Okay, okay, 5 minutes is over.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, Lakhan, you can start.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, friends. Today I'm going to speak on the why promotion of digital currency in India. As we know that on 1st of December, the CBDC, that is Central Bank Digital Currency, launched and institutionalized the digital currency in India. We can also say the e-rupee. Instead of UPI, e-rupee is launched. E-rupee is also launched. Actually, this is a benefit to the banks and the government expenditure on the printing of currencies or minimize the printing. As we know that the banks are spending a lot of amount in order to the public when we are using the UPI amount for transferring or any purchasing for any purchasing purpose. We are using it in free. But if you remember, if you read the daily newspaper, then you will come to notice that the banks are paying for that transferring amount to for the UPI to reduce that expenditure burden on the banks. Apart from this, the governments also expending a lot of amount on the printing of currency. If you take the example of 50 rupees, if government is printing the 50 rupees, at least 5 rupees are going on the 5 rupees are spending on the printing of that amount, so that this digital currency will reduce the government amount. Third point is that money laundering. Sir is also highlighted that money laundering is one of the main issues in India, not only in India but all over the world. That if the digital currency will be there, so that the money laundering case can be reduced. And we know that there is no need of internet connection with this digital currency, so that it is in the hand of one person only. If we will be using of the internet, so that it will be widely populated, as well as it our mobile data can be stolen and other third party can be involved in that fraud. So that we are most of us we are facing the cyber fraud in our mobile phone can be tracked at any time. We also noticed that cross-border terrorism is also expanding. We maybe listen the news from the newspaper that many drones are throwing the amount of the Indian currency on the LOC as well as on the IP border, so that that amount can be used for the terrorism. If this amount will be, if this digital currency will be implemented in India, so that this cross-border terrorism can be stopped. And in this go e-rupees or digital currency, we don't need to have a bank account, so that even our data cannot be stolen by someone. and our we will have an interference of the amount with only one person to other person only. As sir is also highlighted and Tejas is also highlighted there that there is no interest
Last
will
two
be given
minutes.
by the bank, and that um, on saving account we will have and some interest, but in this digital currency we don't have to get some any interest amount for this. There are some loopholes also. The benefit I also highlighted that especially this is for the bank's purpose, and the government is spending that amount on the printing of the um, currencies. There are some loopholes. There are yes, we know that there are some illiterate person in India also. So that if this mobile will become in hand of other person, so that uh, their amount can be stolen by someone. Apart from this, if the person is not aware that how to use their mobile phone, so that he in order to that our data cannot be stolen and the cyber fraud can be stopped in India. Thank you.
Okay, Lakhan. Uh, little bit voice was breaking in the end. Rest all I could hear, and good points, very well covered. Why we should promote it? There are many benefits we can foresee. Time will tell and prove it that whether it is really implementable in that way. First and foremost is printing cost, or even if we do UPI transactions, which sounds like a digital currency or digital transactions, these are peculiar digital transactions, but it is not a digital currency, and that's why there is some cost associated with it. And second is printing cost, hard cash. If you go with your cash, do the transactions, cash in circulation is a problem for government, because printing the soil notes, it has to get deposited with RBI, and associated cost for printing and recirculation, putting into society, getting that money in a proper way, because a lot of notes, if they are cut, not usable, so RBI and the banks have responsibility to get it back, get it replaced with new ones, that is new printing, so that cost is avoidable. Another point Lakhan was highlighting, money laundering. Yes, to greater extent, this is a aim in a longer term, because money meant for something should be a legal way of using it, and it should be noticeable on the government transaction records. So if it is a digital currency, its footprints will be there. You can trace it. And few points which probably one of the speaker will definitely cover associated with it. No need of internet. This is something which is unique, but let's wait and see whether it is really happening that way, because cyber threat is the biggest hurdle in implementation of such things. And if you want to remove that cyber threat, internet will be thing. Without internet, if you can do it, I think it will become more safe. Fake currency, this is a bigger subject, bigger challenge for the national security. Lakan has brought out this point that fake currency, even drones are delivering it, or there are so many hawala things, and uh, and there are some agents who get this money and puts it into circulation. So digital currency, you cannot have fake currency. If it is a 50 rupees, some particular maybe mark will be there, or some digital code will be there. So if it is 100 rupees in circulation, it will never cross 100 rupees. If it is a digital currency of 100 rupees, it will always be 100 rupees, because you, as far as today's theory we can visualize, it will be 100 rupees. But what about the hard cash? Enemy prints ditto money, ditto currency, and we are not sure whether our 100 rupees in circulation is really 100, or it is a 120, 150, or it is 200. So if money in circulation is actually more than what is supposed to be, it is a problem for economy may collapse, and this is the biggest fear. And secondly, if it is extra money coming into the system and being utilized for anti national activities, that is a bigger challenge. Good, Lakhan has covered uh, very crisply good points. Now next speaker is, I think, Gayatri, and topic is merits of cashless economy. Gayatri, ready? Gayatri is there? Just a moment. I'm audible? I will reconnect. I think I was not audible.
Yes, sir, you
You are
you
audible,
are
sir.
audible.
Audible, sir. Audible.
Okay. Maybe there is some issue at my end. I had to reconnect again. Okay, now Gayatri is there. Merits of cashless economy. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Lakhan can keep time.
Sir, I will keep time.
Okay. Gayatri, you can go ahead.
Please tell me when to start.
Okay, Gayatri, start.
Okay. So the topic that I'll be speaking today is the
Gayatri, you can
merits of
start.
yeah. The topic that I'll be speaking today is merits of cashless economy. So first, the point that I would like to highlight about the advantage of cashless economy is that a record of all the economic transactions that are done through the electronic means is kept. And so it makes it almost impossible to sustain the black economies, or what we call as the underground market. Secondly, this will in turn decrease the chances of the black money that is entering into the systems, and also decrease the corruption rates as well. And one more advantage of the cashless economy would be, as we all know, that the economies that are largely based upon the cash, or the hard cash, what we call is, they facilitate the lot of financing in the underground markets. And these underground markets are involved into the criminal activities such as the drug trafficking, human trafficking, or terrorism, or extortion and all. And if the cashless economy is brought into picture, then it will make it difficult to launder money for such activities, and in turn will also decrease the this illicit trading activities, and also the criminal activities which I stated earlier. And as we move more and more towards a cashless economy, the circulation of the fake currency notes will also be curved. As sir mentioned earlier, the sum of, or the amount of the 100 rupee, whatever is being circulated in the economy, will remain only 100 if we move towards the cashless economy. But if we are a cash based economy, then that amount can be increased as well, from 100 to 120, as sir has highlighted. And if the fake currency notes that are circulated in the systems, if they are curbed, then this will decrease the burden upon the regulatory and the monitoring agencies that are there for monitoring all the fake currencies in the economy. Their load will also be decreased. Now it will also increase the tax base, because it is very difficult to avoid the proper payments of the due taxes in a cashless economy, as all the transaction and even one's income, it also has a record. So such violations of non payment of due taxes is greatly reduced. uh, Now what this will the advantage of the non-payment of due taxes, that will in turn lead to increasing the tax base, which would result into the greater revenues for the state, and even greater amount is available to fund the welfare programs, and the government is able to provide better facilities to the citizens. Now, the best example of this is a country named as Sweden, which is world's first country to have the cashless economy. And as we observe in many of the indexes, Sweden is among the top ranking countries. So the reason behind it is that the government is able to provide better services to its citizens, which leads to the development. And the government is able to do it because of the increase in the tax base due to the cashless economy that they are currently having. Now, if we look at it through the economic and the environment perspective, then the cashless economy will decrease the production of the paper currency and coins, which will save the lot of production cost to the government. As Sir has highlighted that even if the currency is, like, if we have a 10 or 20 rupees note, and if it gets torn, then the government is responsible to replace the notes. So the government has to in turn bear more and more cost for the printing more and more money in the exchange of that value. So the government has a lot of load on the production cost. So if the cashless economy comes into picture, then the production of paper currency and coins, the lot of the production cost, whatever we uh, the government has to incur, will be reduced. And it will also be good for the environment, since the paper that is used for printing the currency is made from 100% cotton. So the same cotton can be put to a better use in the textile industry, and also can be exported to the other nations, which will also in turn contribute to our GDP as well. Now, also about the digital transactions, they bring in better transparency as the record is maintained. It also has a better scalability and
Time up, Gayatri.
yeah, accountability. And at the same time, they are very convenient and improve the market efficiency as well. And it also eliminates the risk that is associated with carrying and transporting the huge amount of cash. As Sir has highlighted that if the cashless economy comes into picture, or the digital currency comes into picture, then you can actually carry a very big amount of sum in your pocket as well. You don't need to carry any suitcase or a trolley for the money. So the risk associated with the theft and carrying or transporting huge amount of cash will be reduced. And as we all are aware that a lot of data transfer happens due to cashless transactions, this data can help the government plan for the future expenses, such as the housing, the energy management, and other things as well. And they can form these patterns based upon the data that has been transported. Now that we are in the age of data mining and machine learning, so this data can in turn be utilized to provide better facilities to the public, and also manage better expenses at the government's end as well. Thank you.
Okay, good, Gayatri. Well covered. Last point, from where the disadvantages is the biggest fear. How? If government is having more and more data, the common man is, or even the people who are more intellectual, they create some fear psychosis. The government will control everything. For example, if there is a subsidy, which is a gas subsidy, and if it is given a digital currency 2000 rupees. It is now hypothetical. We don't know how exactly it is going to get executed on ground. Suppose I get some subsidy. I am a user. 2000 rupees. I am bound to use that subsidy for that purpose only. Imagine the control. This is just one example I am giving. If I want to use anywhere else, like that coupon, if that coupon comes, you can use only in some particular shop. Elsewhere, it is good for nothing. But that coupon is usable only at one particular counter. To that extent, people are afraid. A farmer gets subsidy for fertilizer. That farmer has to buy only fertilizer. He will not be able to buy something of a luxury कि चलो कपड़े खरीद लेते हैं. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Gayatri, good points. Record keeping you highlighted. Then it will be easy. That's what I was mentioning now. Hard cash is almost in today's world. If someone is using more and more hard cash, probably that person, not all the persons, but many of these persons will have that hard cash from illegal means, and that's why they are using it. If someone has got a salary, and that salary can be used online easily, but if it is very any illegal cash holding, then that will be used as hard cash only. So this area will be covered to some extent. Fake currencies he has covered. Tax base, Gayatri, that was an important point. This is our biggest tragedy actually. Unfortunately, we should have more and more taxpayers, but we don't have. So maybe through this digital currency, in times to come, not immediately, we will have enhanced tax base. Today it is less than 1%, technically speaking, because people are filing returns, but almost majority of them are filing as zero. Zero in the sense zero income tax, but just filing returns. But paying income tax, only salaried people whose tax is cut by the employer and some businessmen, they are paying or declaring. What about many people who are actually into that tax bracket but not paying? Probably they will be covered. Environment, good, that is an important point. But you have come to a very close factor. I don't know anybody had planned to cover it. COVID-19 experience. Imagine tomorrow some biological warfare starts. We will not be able to use or transact hard cash. No exchange of money between two persons. No physical touch or transmissibility possibility. This is just a thinking. When I was hearing Gayatri about environment concern, I have got a bigger concern, biological warfare or some kind of pandemic. I am straightway using the word biological warfare because I have doubts whether we are heading for it. The way situations are there, we are may not be immediately, but in our lifetime, we will see a scenario where we may not be exchanging anything, like what we witnessed to some extent in pandemic COVID-19. So maybe digital currency has got biggest advantage. No sharing of money, no exchange of money, just digital transactions. I will not touch you, you don't touch me. Something like that. So this probably is a bigger advantage in times to come. Okay, we will have next speaker, Sanjeevani. Demerits, where Gayatri has left actually, uh, covering the entire data. Now the demerit starts. Right? Sanjeevani is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gayatri, keep time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening to all. Today my selected topic is demerits of cashless economy. So first of all, low literacy rate. The low literacy rate is one of the top case of multiple extra sign issue. Beginning a cashless economy is India or building a digital literacy India is not a simple task. So many places don't it have electricity and water. So computer and the internet area is far cry. A high number of population is based in most of the rural areas. So without this necessity of population in these. Then the chances of corruption. First of all, despite beginning one of the point of digitalization financial transaction. one can't guarantee crime to declinate. So a person exercising a grip in money might be a necessity. So in kind instead of cash in the future. So such as mobile and a computer system. Then the disparity. If the standard payment technique gets changed into the cashless system completely, so the chances are that perceiving smartphones or device will become necessary. So in a country like India, where many citizens in provided for their daily foods and necessities. So pursuing a smartphone is the most expensive. So this poor sections are can't afford. Uh, ca- so if cashless economy become the standard rule, so then the inequality can be seen in society because of not everyone can afford it. Then the most important thing is cybercrime. India will have a toughest cyber crime because of hacking within bank and private accounts private accounts are happening globally. Being its nascent stage in a subject of cybercrime. Then the overspending. There is no doubting that true that cashless transactions are more straightforward to make simply by the click. But the people can't extend excited payment. This advantage of transaction lead to an overspending. So most of the particularly among the modern generation. Then the identification of fraud. The risk of identification fraud is one of the significant disadvantage of the cashless economy in India.
Continue 2 minutes.
The rate of online fraud is growing with each depending day. Expanding of the hacking. Not every person is a perfectly technique server or expanding aware of all the user of technical guidelines. So while attempting to make digital transaction, many people might end disappointed their personal uh, displays their personal identity in online form of creepy lockers. Thank you.
Okay, I think a lot of good points Sanjeevani has given, and there are many things which time will teach us, like low literacy rate. On this, I think, though it sounds as of now a disadvantage or a problem or a hindrance for implementation of this high tech thing, digital currency, but actually India surprises herself. That means population surprises oneself every time. Germany's some of the delegations and even the ambassador here, the premier, the visiting dignitary, recently had given opinion that they are surprised to see how India manages so huge digital transactions. I'm talking about digital transactions. We are 140 crore people, so many people now managing digital transactions, and in other countries it was difficult to push people towards digital transactions, but here maybe sheer number of people or seeing each other, it becomes much more easy. So maybe on one side it looks like low literacy rate, people are not educated, but same was the fear when we were talking about Paytm and Google Pay and Phone Pay. But now on village side, even small counters, um, especially youth, but even the older generation are interested to switch over to this platform. So this is something which is interesting. We will like to wait and watch. Yes, electricity and water, what Sanjeevani is highlighting, are the basic problem areas, and you are talking about completely digital platform, then related to that buying those Android mobiles and computers and having such kind of facilities in the hands of poor people. So you are demanding people to buy such gadgets, though it will be offline also facility, but you will require such kind of high end at high end in the sense for a poor man, it is a high end facilities and gadgets in hand. So you are perforce putting them into such kind of buying. So that is a bigger issue. Cyber crime, yes, I think we have separate topic on that. Cyber challenges. Mukesh will be speaking on that. So that will be covered. Overspending, yes, psychological issue. When I have witnessed it when we had salary in our hand, a paying officer was paying salary. Even you can check back with your parents when initially they used to draw salary, get home, then it was divided as far as the requirement goes, and different people were having that allotment in the house, and then going in the position of saving part into bank. This was that manual channel. Today it comes to bank, it is all online transactions. You have ATMs, you have wallets, and you are not knowing how much money is going here and there because you are casually doing it. But when it comes to counting and giving it, it has more psychological relations. So overspending will be a biggest challenge and fear. This is interesting point which Sanjeevani was covering, identification of frauds. On one hand, we are saying we will be able to track digital transactions. Digital transactions are difficult to track, and that's why so many online frauds are there. Police is not geared up. Our law and order agencies are able to stop some of the transactions if immediately reported, and by the time whatever transactions are already done, to retrieve those amount, still it is almost impossible. And there are so many cases every day we hear that so and so person reached police station and he could save later transactions. But the transactions which are already done, what about that? We are not geared up for such kind of infrastructure. But now here it will be digital currency. So let's see whether digital currency helps us to monitor the digital transactions. This time will tell. I hope you are understanding. Digital transaction is today we are doing OTP comes and you are authenticating some kind of transactions. This is digital transaction. But when it comes to digital currency, then it is some kind of probably a particular digital note. I'm assuming that suppose 2000 rupees in digital currency. So it will have some signature and you have done that transaction, it will be traceable. So let's assume this is being catered. So this, if it is catered, then it will be easy to track the transactions. And if it is not catered, we are heading for more troubles. Okay, good. Now we will go to next speaker. Good. I am very happy that almost every one of you have covered good points in minimum time. Now we will go to comparative statistics, India versus other countries in the field of digital currencies. Subodh, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Sanjeevani, keep time.
Yes, sir. Subodh, you can start.
Okay. So good evening to all. Today's my lecture topic is India versus other countries in field of digital currency. Starting from the historical point of view, in ancient times we don't have a currency to exchange all the things. So we introduced the barter system. Then the coins introduced by the kings, and then after the trade happened with the help of the coins, and we exchange goods with each other with the help of the coins. But in this technological world, in this technological era, we developed a new form that is digital currency. Now, if I talk about little bit history of digital currency, so the origin of digital currency traced back to 1990s, data-com bubble. In 1983, a research paper titled Blind Signatures for Untraceable Payments by David Chaum introduced the idea of digital cash. In 1989, he founded Digital Cash, an electronic cash company in Amsterdam. Now, if I talk about the countries, as of in 2016, almost 24 countries are investing in distributed ledger technologies with 1.4 billion. Almost 24 countries are involved in that. If I talk about, first of all, I will talk about the countries, then I will go towards India. So Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, the Octopus card system launched in 1997 as electronic purse for public transportation. Most successful contactless payments. because it can be used while public in the public transport. If we can go by bus, by car, by a train, and it would be a very beneficial for and it would be very beneficial for the people who are in the Singapore. Then if I talk about the London Transport Oyster card system, hold pay as you go credit, travel cards and bus and tram season tickets. It is almost same as I discussed all of Hong Kong's, because it can also be used. It can use for the ticketing system, like to for whoever wants to travel from bus or from car. So we can use this digital card system. Then, if I talk about Japan's Felicia, so it is also contactless RFDI smart card used for ticketing system for public transport, e-money, and residence door keys. Almost the first three countries, they are basically focused uh, on the uh, on the digital currency, basically on the transporting systems and all those things. Now, if I talk about
Voice breaking, Subodh? Not able to hear? I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Subodh was not audible to me. Same is the case with others?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought my network is the issue. Even Subodh has, I think, got disconnected. Okay, will we see if in couple of seconds he comes back. Good points. He was covering Hong Kong and London transport, and including Japan's mainly transport related, some mechanism where it is a digital platform to digital currency we are shifting actually. World is trying to move on to that, and we are also on the similar track. So on one hand, we are seeing a developed world where it is almost everyone is well educated. We call them that they are ahead of us. And the developing world like India or China is trying to match with that. There are some concerns also. When it comes and brings some advantages and disadvantages, what is the problem? There are some fears. People are discussing this. Okay, Subodh is back. Subodh, can you hear?
hello, I'm
Yes,
audible, sir.
you're audible. You can continue. I think almost halfway through, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So if I talk about the countries of various countries, first of all, I will talk about the countries, then I will move to India. So as per of 2016, 24 countries are investing in distributed ledger technologies with 1.4 billion. So if I talk about first Hong Kong, so Hong Kong has Octopus card system launched in 1997 as an electronic purse. It is generally for the public transportation, so that it can help people to transport in a public, like from trams or from railways or from metros. It is one of the most successful payment systems. Now, if I compared with Hong Kong's like Japan Felicia has similar contactless RFDI smart card used for the ticketing system for public transport, e-money, resident door keys. Now, if I talk about the London Transport Oyster card system holds the similar function as Hong Kong's and Japan's. Uh, it is basically for the travel purpose. So in these countries, basically they focused on the digital currency for the traveling purposes. Now, if I talk about the US, in 2014, the New York State Department of Financial Services proposed the smart comprehensive regulation of virtual currencies, to date commonly called bit license. So in USA, the digital currency is revolving, but there should be some of the things that we need to that USA need to put into through, because if I compare of Japan and Hong Kong and London, these all three countries are basically focused on the digital currency on the transport systems. Now, if I talk about the Belgium's Proton, an electronic purse application for debit cards, means to replace cash for small transactions. The system came into being in 1995 and it got retired on 31st of December 2014. So now moving towards the next country, that is Netherlands. So the Dutch central bank is experimenting with blockchain-based virtual currency called DNB coin. Now, if I compared with India, these of the countries, so India recently started in 2017, and many countries started already in 1997, 1995, in late 2000, 2003. All the countries means many of the countries started in this year. So India is lacking behind. Some years India is lacking behind, but definitely India will cope. India will definitely get back on the track very early. So if I talk one of the important fact, that is El Salvador. El Salvador became the first country to officially classify the Bitcoin as a legal currency on on June 9, 2021. So it is one of the remarkable thing that El Salvador has done. Now, if I move onwards to China, so in 2016, China introduced in 2016, Fa Hen, the deputy government of China central bank, said that digital currency should be there in the use in digital currency should be here in digital currency should be there in China, just for the sake of the means to get or to it should be made familiar with the people, so that they can be get familiar and it can be used through countrywide. Now in December 2020, the Central Bank of China used the renminbi, that is the digital currency, and they distributed almost 20 RMB billion worth of digital renminbi to residents of China through lottery program to promote government-backed digital currency. Similar goes with Switzerland. In 2016, a city government first accepted digital currency payment of city fees. Not only that, in order to reduce risk, Jug immediately converts any Bitcoin received into Swiss currency. Swiss Federal Railways, it is the government-owned Swiss railway company, sells Bitcoin at its tickets machines. So, if I come to India, so India recently introduced in 2017 the uh, digital currency. So, if I talk about it, so RBI launched the central bank digital currency, digital rupee or e-rupee for the common man. So, the one of the most important thing is that why digital currency has been there has been to promote in that. So first of all, the government of the RBI has launched the digital currency program for uh, the pilot schemes in Mumbai, New Delhi, Bangalore, and Bhubaneswar, and later on it will be extended to Ahmedabad, Gangtok, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Indore, Kochi, Lucknow, Patna, and Shimla. So if I compare India, so India is not involved, or India is not involved its digital currency into the public transport systems as I compared Japan, Hong Kong, as well as Japan, Hong Kong, as well as the Belgium. So if I compare this to India, so India is not about it. And one of the most important challenges regarding India's digital currency is that awareness, because we know that many of the Indian people, they are not literate, or if one get to familiar with the electronics or some kind of related to mobile, so there should be some time taken by the government authorities, so that the people should get familiar. In other countries it is almost there in 1995, or from 1995 or from 1997, but it is in India. If we started this program, so definitely we need some awareness. So one of the benefits that India must encounter, that is the not using of physical money, because in India we know that the global warming is rising, and it is one of the environmental challenges for India. So if we use the digital currency, or if the people all over India get familiar with it, and we used it in each and every sector, so definitely we will cut down the emission rate at a very faster rate. Not only that, we will reach our $1 trillion economy in a very faster rate, because uh, if through the introduction of UPI or digital currency, now we are almost now we are on the verge that we used almost 118% of uh, transactions regularly, as compared to 2020 98%. So it is one of the fact that India is on the India is on the track that to get digital currency in a very faster format in each and every sector. Not only that, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, yes. You're audible.
Yes, Subodh.
Not only that, we have to also focus on the cyber securities, because many of the countries and India, if I compare the India cyber security system, so now we are developing the cyber security systems. Like giving example, recently AIMS has got the cyber security means AIM faced the recently cyber attacks from the foreign nations. So we have to develop a strong cyber security network so that they can't interfere into the digital rupee systems of India, and our Indian money should be uh, safe by the government, and our people will enjoy it definitely if we focus or if we do it in a correct format. Thank you.
Okay. World coverage Subodh has done. A lot of countries, especially transport related things, experiments or the experience one can see it has been done. But India is doing sheer population, the risk involved. That is how slowly we are going. Actually, some of the cities are now participating. So India is a big, huge country, huge population. It will take time to adjust. And as far as the fear of people's orientation, I feel that fear one can ignore. Indians have really adapted to anything which comes new, so there is not a big issue. Only thing, Subodh, time-wise, little more time taken, and points good. Almost many countries example he has covered. So to just cut down on time, I will go to biggest thing which Subodh was going towards cyber-related challenges. Mukesh sir, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Subodh, keep time.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, sir, and all of you. My topic is cyber security challenge. First thing we should know, why are you talking about that cyber security challenge? You know, nowadays in our country, the having access to the internet of people increasing day by day, and India is the second online market in the worldwide. So we have to think about that, because you know, if definitely the technology brings lot of comfort in our life, and also it is introducing in different way in our daily life. But apart from it there is lot of challenges in front of us, and now we will talk about on that. First is you know, the cyber terrorism, because the social media platform nowadays is using for the violation, because the lot of person is spreading rumors in through that platform to means create the violence in that particular area. And if you talk about nowadays, we all upload our information on the social media platform through online transaction and buying something, and it is again creating challenge, digital threat in front of us, and because it also generated bigger incentive for the cyber criminal cyber warfare. And other thing is cyber warfare. You know, the nowadays is country, a lot of country indulge the AI with IT in their armed forces. It is against a biggest threat in front of us, and we have to think about that. And also the lot of countries planning to introduce their cyber warfare troops, and now there's some countries also introduced in that sector. And other thing is the lack of specialist, because you know, we are witness now the recently in AIMS, our AIMS server was hacked, and we have taken a lot of time to come out that type of situation. Means we have to improve our cyber infrastructure, because we don't have such type of cyber infrastructure, so we can come out fastly in that type of situation. Because in the AIMS example of AIMS, we have taken around 11 to 12 days to come out that situation, and we are also witness lot of cyber attacks in going on our country, and it is increasing day by day. If you see the last year data, it is increased around 11%. So it is the biggest concern as of. And you know, in our country there is many agencies doing work in that sector. So due to this, the existing of two money agencies with overlapping function. It is also the lack of coordination between those countries. So government should think about that to introduce a one
Last two
such
minutes.
dedicated agency to that monitor that type of means जो भी cyber attack and challenges. And one thing is that we can say a recovery process that I earlier mentioned, that we should introduce that type of technology so we can bring out fastly in that type of situation. So there is some way forward that we can use in that, and government uh, should mobilize the more fund research and development so we can innovate new technology to address increasing the cyber security threats. And other thing is urgent need to build capacity and capabilities of the application equipment and infrastructure testing so we can avoid that type of situation. And one thing is important is awareness, because the literacy rate of in that sector in our country is very less. So we have to run such a program along with our education system so we can make aware the student and as well as the our citizen, so we can handle that type of situation. And strengthening private partnership with the public partnership so we can introduce new technology. And other the important thing is periodically data backup. If we are using computer, mobile, laptop, so we should back up our data periodically so we can handle that type
Last
of.
30 seconds.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good, Mukesh Saab, well covered. I keep saying next 9/11 maybe we will witness on a cyber platform. And if suppose economy related thing something goes wrong, so probably this is the scenario building up how much we are able to protect ourselves, like AIMS example what Mukesh Saab was giving. Uh, these are the little fearsome examples scenario where we need to really put our every effort at national level, at individual level, at society level, that how we can protect ourselves in the vulnerable world of tomorrow's, because there are no boundaries for these things. Earlier, an enemy if wants to come in and attack you, there are some boundaries, there are some barriers you can put it. But what about this virtual world? You cannot. Your laptop moment it is on, thereafter it is connected to internet and you are exposed. So this is that dangerous scenario where we need to have measures in place, some safeguarding measures before we go all out on such things. Like nobody had thought that medical data will be breached, and it is an eye opener. Anything and everything is important in that cyber platform for the enemy. What they must have taken, that analysis must be on. VIP data has gone, or what kind of data they wanted the hackers. It is a matter of study and introspection. Why AIMS is targeted? What data? Data is oil that we keep talking. Data is very important. Everything can be sold related to data. So if hackers were planning to steal the data or hack AIMS entire thing, so what was the actual aim? Suppose you rob a bank. What is your aim? You rob money actually. So if you are robbed aims in terms of data, so what was that critical data they have taken? So digital currency, whether e-rupee will be vulnerable to such threats, it is a matter of now deep thinking. And as and when these things unfold, because how we will be utilizing it, how our e-wallets will be there in with digital currency actually. Today our wallet, phone pay or Paytm or Google Pay or whatever wallet we have, currency is not specified. That digital currency 100 rupees, 50 rupees, 1000, 2000, this is not specified. 5 rupee note, 10 rupee note, it is not specified. It is that sum. But when it comes to digital currency, even notes will be specified. This is that interesting segment which will come. So wallet will have a typical notes like 10 500 rupees notes. That means 5,000 rupees is there. So even those notes will be traced. That's what I understand as a layman. So this world will be little interesting. You can track particular note where it is going. Today hard money, how you can track? Tomorrow's supercomputer systems will track a particular 2000 rupee note where it has gone, in whose hand it is today. To that extent, probably we'll be monitoring. Okay, I have a few questions in the end, but before that, we will go to last topic. What was that? Future of digital currency. I think Subodh is not, this Suraj is not there. So Abhaya, you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, we will ask Mukesh Saab to keep time. Okay. Time keeping, anybody can keep. Subodh.
Using digital currency, you can complete a payment much faster than a current. Means like wireless transaction. This can take many days or little days to financial institution to confirm a transaction. Digital currency has a potential to complete change how society think about the money. The rise of the Bitcoin and Ethereum, or thousand of the other cryptocurrencies that exist only in electronic form, has led a global central bank to research how to national digital currencies might work. The survey found that half of the Americans, 53, agreed that cryptocurrencies are the future of the finance, including 59 of the Democrat and Republicans. Not only do both Democrats and Republicans believe that cryptocurrency is an issue that is growing in importance, but they also agree on the need for the appropriate regulation. Nearly 4 in 5 Americans, consulate 79% feel they need to clearance regulation of the cryptocurrencies, which support from Democrats 87% and Republicans is 76%. So finally, finally, pre-half of most importantly, voters view cryptocurrency as a path of a more equitability financial system. The survey found that over half of the adults, like 56%, says that evolution of the finance that really lays on a bank as a financial intermediaries. For example, cryptocurrency. We will and will create a more people to access the global as a financial system. And I think it will give a big boost for the digital currency. Thank you.
Okay, very crisp. It will give boost, it will change the dynamics, and it will change our life, no doubt about it. There was couple of seconds my network was issue. Okay, good. Uh, I will comment now in nutshell. In the end, I have a few questions also, but before that, if someone wants to speak, especially Shweta, Jay, and those who have not spoken, not participated, even those who participated in particular topic, if have some point or question in the other domains, you can speak. We'll just open up the forum. Shweta, Jay, you have something to say?
Sir, can I add one point?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sir, actually, when humans get something new, they only think about what is the and what are the advantages of about that. We never think about, about the poor people, about the needy people. I want to share my one experience which I experienced before 2 or 3 days. When I gone to the market, one lady, a poor lady, came to me and asked for money. Sir, she is very old. She can't walk, but I don't have money in cash. I have money in phone. I want to give her money, but I can't because I don't have money in cash. So then what I do in that situation is we think about that a corruption will over. We think about that how Indian economy will grown up. We never think about that situation. My question is why? What what they do in that situation?
Okay, very important dimension Shweta has touched. India is actually a country where there are so many segments. We are having people who are just not into the regular system. This is one example what Shweta is highlighting. Imagine tomorrow if it is totally digital currency and some people still on that area, not on board of developed things, how they will survive or how they will operate. So maybe we need to actually take them on board. We need to cater some things. We need to really take care of such people, those who are not ready. And maybe in phases we will do that. Like today, it is some metro cities are selected, some banks are selected, and next phase, seeing the responses, we will spread. And similar logic is applied in every launch. Question is right, but probably government also thinks on these things, and it is planned in steps. Like even though this polio dose or vaccines, we thought there are so many people who are not within the reach of medical system. How we will reach out to those people, and government could manage, our society could manage. There are so many NGOs, so many volunteers, and there is a system which India really is a funny um, system where nobody really understands how somehow we manage it, and similar thing is likely to happen on this. But good question, this is mind tickling and uh, thought provoking, because this happens with many people. What exactly, you don't have hard cash, you want to offer somewhere, but you feel then guilty or helpless at times, that how we can do that. Now, coming to few more areas, there are some concerns actually, apprehensions also, some fears. Why government is bringing digital currency? On one hand, we see we want to get modernized, we want to get updated, we want to get involved in international transactions, we should be updated, we should be coping up with the modern countries. And the other side is, are we creating problems for our people? Are we really going to monitor their data? Are we under the garb of stopping money laundering? We are actually tracking people. Like one example, subsidies, I said, intent is noble. But are we really going to monitor every rupee note? Possible. But then it is debatable. Some people will say, if you are honest, why you are worried? Second thing is, why banks are there? Today, hard cash is a major reason. So maybe in times to come, banks' existence will be at question. A lot of jobs are likely to get removed, totally washed out. Cash management related lot of jobs are there. Cash vans are there, currencies are there, and many things. Bank, I said in whole. So if everything's digital, some foreseeable future, if we have everything digital, so maybe this particular segment will get redundant, obsolete. So this is another fear. And very interesting factor with digital currency is it will affect every person, because this is the only thing where every person is connected. Money. So anything else which gets launched, some people may not be affected. Suppose you launch a car, you do some kind of new scheme or something. Not necessarily everybody is required to participate and everybody is affected. But this is the case where every human being will be affected because everyone needs money, everyone transacts right from your uh, that age where you go to school and you start transacting. So maybe everyone will be interconnected because there will be need. Today, in one corner of the country, you may be doing some transaction with hard cash, you and that particular merchant is involved. But when you are having a digital currency, you will be connected to the world. You can transact with anyone. So this is that area where we are coming. You can transact with anyone with the help of internet. It is as such is possible today. But now this comes to that level where everyone, if it is 100% digital currency in times to come, then we are talking global village, but the currency, digital currency will make it in real sense complete global village. Entire world will be a family where everyone is through this digital currency now connected to everyone. Internet has connected us, but not bounded us. And probably this is further strengthening of that connection and monitoring that another area where government will have in fact money related data, and which is a very very important data कि किसके पास कितना पैसा है. Because if imagine I was talking with the scale of 100 rupees, if a particular country has got 100 rupees and that 100 rupees is in some denominations, and you can easily monitor, okay, exact particular note is in whose hand, another note is in whose hand. So that scenario is possible with this model. So, and it is worrisome for some people that which happened in Aadhaar case also, Aadhaar card. Why government wants that data, biometric data, and everything is there, and it will be threat to the personal privacy. It is debatable. So similar thing is emerging here also that your data is monitored, but nobody can claim it in a opposing way because if you are honest, why are you worried? Declare it. I have got 1,000 rupees. I have got 1 lakh rupees. I have got 1 crore rupees. Where is the harm? So all those illegal transactions will slowly get out of system. All those, suppose today everyone knows that real estate business is little problematic, where on record there is some transaction and apart from that there is some transaction. So with digital currency in play, these things will be automatically get rid of, isn't it? So probably it will clean our systems. With that aim, it is on one side looks good, and there are some challenges which you all have highlighted. Cyber is the biggest challenge. Our people who are in different strata is the biggest challenge to take the last man on board on such kind of platform. These are all challenges, but it will roll out slowly. It will reach to the last man because so far so many things launched in our country. Education, 1947 when we started educating our people, it took time. It is still not 100%. We are still educating our people. Our last man has not reached, especially tribal belts. Same thing is applicable in this model also, this scheme. Digital currency will take time. It may take 50 years, it may take 100 years, it may take 10 years. Who knows? It depends how fast we develop. Maybe we will develop very fast, but it will roll out. For better reasons, we assume that. And if there are some challenges, especially the cyber one, that is to be sorted out by the government and people because that threat is really, really challenging one. Today we are witnessing so many cyber frauds. A lot of money is getting siphoned off from the people's pocket, from the people's account. People are really facing this challenge. Our law and order agency is not yet geared up to solve these cases, cyber related frauds. So digital currency, I assume and expect to assist this tracing. Today we are not able to trace where is that money gone, because it doesn't have signature, it doesn't have denomination, it doesn't have that particular tracing trails. This is that area, probably little complicated, but it will solve if we see positively. Okay, any doubt? It was a good participation. I think a lot of new things I also learned, heard, and same must be the case with you all. You particularly prepared for particular aspects. In the bargain, you must have read more, and it is a field where we all should be aware. And in coming SSBs, I am anticipating you should be geared up to talk and understand this topic, and that's why it was introduced today. Okay, shall we end here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will end here. Have a good time. Bye. Jai Hind.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Yes.